Tuesday was National Canine Veterans Day. So on Tuesday, you probably heard a lot. If you were watching, if you were listening, you heard a lot about heroic canines. And boy, we've got one right here, or we used to, I should say, a retired canine from the Yakima Police Department, Flash, nominated as the 2018 Law Enforcement Dog of the Year. Former Yakima police officer Jason Johnson on the phone with us right now says Flash, the inspiration for him starting Project Canine Hero, a foundation that supports retired police canines. So we are going to learn more and talk to Jason right now. Good morning, Jason. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I keep saying former Yakima Police Department, former Yakima police officer. That doesn't mean you're retired, right? I mean, you're active in the law enforcement community. Tell us what you're doing these days.
Sure. I left Yakima Police in 2008. I was recruited to go overseas. I worked for the ambassador of the United States in Iraq and Afghanistan to be a canine handler there. So with the Department of State. And
that's quite an honor.
Yeah, it was great. I took that opportunity. I did that for 2 years in both venues of Iraq and Afghanistan. And I would do all the meetings between, like President Karzai and the U.S. ambassador or the Secretary of State. So I did about 125 missions there. And then in 2010, the ATF hired me to be the instructor at their National Academy in Front Royal, Virginia. So I taught thousands of law enforcement dogs, many in Washington State. I have dogs there I've taught with the U.S. Marshal's Office out in Spokane, a couple in Seattle, the whole area, ATF, FBI, CIA. So it was a great experience teaching dogs for them. And we worked a lot with the Military Working Dog Program, about 1,200 dogs before they went overseas. It was part of my job at ATF. So
you're not just a dog whisperer, you're a speaking dog language loud and clear kind of guy. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. I even went after that. I went to the TSA program to do the passenger screening canine, like what you might see in Seattle would be your local, or even Portland, where we have dogs that screen passengers for explosives. So I was like a program manager, or what's called a field canine coordinator under that for a few years. And so what I learned was, after all the 2,000 dogs or so I helped train here in the United States and abroad, that when they got out of service, that we weren't taking care of them any longer, that there was no funds set aside to help with their medical care, their cost, or surgery. So I started the Project Canine Hero Foundation, and Flash, who I got back after she retired, was kind of the inspiration for me to do that. And right now we help dogs all across the nation. We're a nationwide nonprofit. I run that full time as the CEO. And we help them who have special needs, or ones who have a financial burden on their handler. We help cover those costs and make sure they have a healthy and long retirement.
Wow, that's what a great story. I mean, I got a million questions I want to ask about your other stuff as well as this. Do we find is there a PTSD type of component to dogs that have had a real purposeful service, or is that just part of who they are and they just kind of got directed that way and now they're back to being normal dogs? Is there any hangover from service?
Well, I don't think they're ever going to be a normal dog. Once they've had so much training, I'll just give Flash as an example. She doesn't travel very well in a car. She used to be in the back of the patrol car, driving fast and pulling people over. So if I put her in my normal car today, she doesn't just sit back there and lay down. She is, from window to window looking out. She has a lot of anxiety about that. So that stems from her police work. So
step on it, Jason. If she could talk, she'd be barking, "Step on it, Jason. We gotta get somewhere."
Exactly. Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't get to travel with her a lot. I'm traveling today. I was in I was in Las Vegas this 2 days ago, I think, when you first called, and I was in LA a night ago, and I was in Charlotte. Now I'm in Fort Myers, Florida today.
Wow.
So we're doing quite the media tour. And then I'm reading my children's book, Canine Flash Becomes a Hero, which we can get into if you have time. She has her own book, and I'm reading that this tomorrow, I believe, down here for one of the schools locally. So, we do a lot of great things for the community. It's kind of my way of giving back, from my service. And I enjoyed all my time as a police officer. And I also worked in Yakima for about 6 years. I also worked in Puyallup Police Department for 3 prior to that. And then I was an Army MP for 5. So, it's my way to give back to the military community and the law enforcement community, and we're just doing some great things. I'm really proud to be a part of it.
I would just say you've already given your service, buddy. Man, oh man, we appreciate it. We say thanks for all that time on all those various jurisdictions' behalf. That's pretty special. I got to ask some goofy questions here. How did the dogs take to Iraqi food? Were they okay with that, or what do you feed them when you're in a Ford theater like that?
We have regular dog food shipped in by the pallet through whatever company, whether it be Royal Canin or another one, and we have months of supply shipped into us. So they ate regular food. They did drink bottled water because the water wasn't safe. So the dogs, people think, well, but all the dogs drink bottled water over there, and they only ate just the regular dog food.
Come here, Spot. It's time for your Perrier. I mean, come on. Let me ask you this. Of all the kinds of dogs that you've seen in various applications, is there a particular breed that you like overall, or some that are better suited for certain kinds of work than others, or does it just depend on the dog?
Well, for law enforcement work, and over the years after I left the police department in the last 10 years, I've become more of a explosive detection expert. That's what I did in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's what I did for the federal government. And to this day, I'm still very involved in the federal government with different contracting and stuff. So when I select dogs for the government, which is something I do, it should be known I don't take any money from the foundation. It's a 100% volunteer thing for me as the founder and the CEO. But I still government contract and supply dogs to the government and to agencies like Customs and Border Patrol and TSA and things of that nature. So the dogs that I look at, I always look at where they're going to work and what they're going to be doing. So I'll give you an example.
Sure.
Here in the United States, if we're going to go up to Seattle Seahawks Stadium there and we're going to have explosive detection dogs there, I'm okay with having labs or a floppy-eared, German short-haired pointer. Mm-hmm. Their ability to detect explosives is just as good as any other breed, but they're a little easier on the American public eye as far as children and things like that.
Not as macho, right?
Yeah, we're not scaring anybody. We're not overly threatening. However, if I'm a patrol officer, there in Yakima, or if I'm in Iraq or something, I want a pointy-eared dog, something that's going to give a little more presence of hey, this dog has the potential to harm me, or I should act right, or else, where put a little fear into the person that maybe either you're trying to apprehend or you're trying to prevent from doing a terrorist attack.
Oh, that
makes total sense. We always hear about bloodhounds and their great abilities to track and sniff and smell, and I've never seen like a bloodhound type dog being deployed to smell type, use their noses to track stuff down. Is there a reason for that?
No, they are actually. New York City has them. They're used. Just keep in mind when you're using a bloodhound, they are the best for tracking. Scientifically, their olfactory system is far beyond the shepherds and the Malinois or the labs we may use. So they are the best at that. But you have to keep in mind that when they get to the end of the trail, they're just going to stop there. They're not going to be apprehending anybody. They're not going to do anything else. So you have to have a team of whether it be armed security or armed personnel or a SWAT team or something that with you to take action, because the dog is surely going to lead them to the end of the trail, and that's it. And so that's why you don't see that in law enforcement as much. But in New York City, where you have a lot of people, you might have a missing child, a special needs child, let's say who has a medical condition. A bloodhound is a great tool to use because you don't want to have an adverse reaction at the end of the track anyway. Right.
The dog will get there and maybe like sit down and light up a pipe and wait for you guys to show up rather than do any growling or barking or
exactly.
fronting. Yeah.
Exactly.
What kind of dog is Flash? And what was Flash used for here?
Okay, so Flash is very unique. I got selected to participate in a class in Shelton, Washington at the Washington State Patrol in 2005. And so during that time, our class, we were training the dogs ourselves. It wasn't a situation where we went and had trained dogs. We recruited and trained dogs ourselves. So I had found a dog locally in Yakima that showed all the qualifications you need for it to be and it was a narcotics, 6-week narcotics class. So I went over there and we were looking for backup dogs. Well, we found one up in Everett Animal Shelter, which turned out to be Flash. She didn't have a name. She didn't have any tags, and she was actually scheduled to be put down.
Are you kidding?
That week, Flash was going to be put down because she had a little bit of an animal aggression issue, and there was something that they couldn't place into another home. So we test 4 different drives in a dog: a prey, air scent, hunt, and retrieve. And we look at these things if they possess these drives, that they would be good for detection work. Well, Flash excelled in all those drives. And we thought, well, we need some extra dogs for this class starting. And this was about September 2005. And, so we took a chance on Flash, and I took a chance on Flash. And so, we thought it's not going to hurt. They're going to, she's going to be put down. Why not have an extra dog in the class? So as it would have it, the dog I had just didn't work out, just wasn't really taken to the training. So as we got there, I took on Flash. I named her Flash. She didn't have a name. And I took on Flash, and she became my partner. And we graduated the course at Washington State Patrol, and she was the only dog in our class to certify 100%.
Wow.
And we hit the ground running when we hit Yakima, and immediately started having some big finds. And, Flash served on, we helped a lot with the DEA task force teams there. We helped a lot with the SWAT team. We were assigned to the patrol division. Flash was the first dog in the history of Yakima Police to be assigned to the patrol division. And we went out and had a really great career. Obviously, I left in 2008 because I had my offer to go work for the ambassador in Iraq, and that was something I just, had to take. But Flash stayed behind, and Officer Ryan Erlacher, if you know him, took over handling duties. And then Officer Stacey Andrews took over after that. So Flash had 3 handlers, and she continued working full-time until 2013 when she was officially retired. And obviously because of my background with law enforcement and K-9 and Flash, the department called me and offered me to get her back. So
Flash,
I jumped at the opportunity and flew up there and got her.
Flash has her own book.
Tell us about the book. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's a great book. It's called K-9 Flash Becomes a Hero. It's a true story about our life. And I read it to schools all over America. I've read it all the way from North Slope, Alaska, which is the most northern city in the United States, or possibly in the world, I believe. And I've read it, all the way down. I'm in Florida today reading it, and Houston to Detroit, everywhere. So, true story about Flash, who went from being a street puppy with no home, who got picked up and put in the animal shelter, who got her second chance in life to become a police officer, to having a great career, to realizing that, hey, what if there's other dogs out there, like me, who didn't have a home or doesn't have care. So we started the foundation, and we feature K-9 Wesley, who used to work for the Yakima Fire Department. Do you guys remember Wesley?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Handled by Jennifer Norton.
You bet.
So Wesley's in the book because Wesley was in our program. We have K-9 Ringo, who was handled by Paul Woodside over at the Washington State Patrol. He's a dog in our program that we took care of. Because when I started, I wanted to really take care of the dogs there locally that I knew. And then we Flash goes out and meet K-9 Kurt, who worked for the FBI downtown Hoover building in D.C. And she gathers up all these dogs, and then we start the foundation and go around the nation talking to people about the spreading awareness about retired police dogs. Because I've been to Congress 4 times this year, and to be honest with you, a lot of politicians, other people do not know that we don't have programs to take care of our police and military working dogs.
Incredible.
They think that when they retire that funding is there. That is not there. That is not true. Whoever adopts the dog, whoever takes on the dog, also takes on all responsibility, which is fine for a lot of people. But some of them, those bills are in the thousands and thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And that's where my foundation comes in to help make sure that those dogs are taken care of.
What a great story! I think the dog Wesley. I think he was sniffing for accelerants at a fire at my place. Fortunately, I was able to throw him off the trail. But just kidding. What a great story! So, if people want to, donate to the foundation, find out more about it, what's the best way to go about that, Jason?
Vote for Flash, right?
And vote for Flash.
Right. So everything's on our website at www.projectk9hero.org. That's projectk9hero.org. And you can go on there and you'll see we have a great video with one of our dogs, Axel, who talks about an overview of our program. But we have all the heroes that we have in the program featured on there. And you can see the different states and the different heroes. They all have their background. We have a donate section and a shop section. So Flash's book is on there. I do autographed copies on there. Flash also has her own kid shirt made by 9 Line Apparel, which is a veteran-based apparel company. And she has her own kid shirt that we sell with the book as a combo.
Cool.
And it's been very popular. I think on Amazon we even have over 55-star reviews on the book. We are top 15% in children book sales for dogs at one point. I'm not sure where we're at today, but
What age bracket would you say would most appeal to? What level of reading?
5 to 10.
All right, I got a 9-year-old that we're going to get that book this week. That's awesome.
Yes. So go to the website. I autograph them from there. We send them out. It's a certain name you want on it. Just put that on your order. And so most importantly, right now what we're pushing for, the media request that I'm doing is, Flash has been nominated for the 2018 American Humane Hero Dog of the Year. So that's going to be a very big honor. But right now there's 18 dogs in the category, and you can vote every day. And we're asking for votes. I would hope the citizens of Yakima would hear this story and, go vote for Flash. Because if we get top 3, then we move on to the second round, and the winner of each division goes to a gala in Beverly Hills, has appearances on Good Morning America and the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, wow.
And what we want to do is use that as a platform to talk about what we do for other police dogs, around the nation. So that is on my website as well at www.projectk9hero.org. At the top of the page, you'll see Vote for Flash, and click here. If you click there, that's going to take you right to the American Humane's page and Flash's page, and it literally takes 10 to 20 seconds to vote. It's just your name, your email, to make sure you're not a robot. Vote. You can do it every day. I would encourage people to do it every day until April 25th, because if we're not in the top 3 of vote getters, we're not going to move on. And I think it's important not only for Flash's story, but what we do for other police dogs.
Yeah, my wife's just texting me, what a great interview. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a tremendous story, Jason, and I am so impressed by all that you've done, and the fact that for you that's not enough, and now you want to go turn around and do stuff for the dogs as well. That's really impressive, and we want to encourage everybody out there to take your advice and do the voting. I just had my wife put in an order for a T-shirt and the book, and for my daughters. In fact, I know you can't be all places at all times. I'm going to see if. How do you get people to? How is it arranged that you get to come and read your book? How does that happen?
We take requests, and unfortunately, I can't fill them all. But I'm sure if maybe I've been requested to come up by the Natchez School District several times this past year, and they've asked, and if we get up there, we'll definitely make a media thing of it where we can. Come back into the station, and we'll try to get into a couple of the different schools and read Flash's book or read them to the community. It's such a great story. And again, Flash has done, just her story of perseverance and fortitude. I think I really hope that the voters out there, this is across the nation now, see that we're a little different than your normal law enforcement dog.
No kidding. I mean, this is a classic story. The poor pup from the wrong side of the tracks. Runs afoul of the system, finds herself in jail, only to be busted out and get a second chance at life. I mean, come on, it's right out of a theater, a movie story.
Yeah, and it's all true. It's all our real life story. So that's what makes it so special.
It is awesome. Hey, our time with you has been fantastic, Jason. I've really enjoyed this. Lance kept saying all week, this is going to be great, this is going to be great. Yeah. And I said, yeah, right, Lance, I know you're a dog guy. This has been great. It has been great. And so we're delighted to help share your story, encourage all of our listeners to get to that website, get some votes going for Flash. And
ProjectK9hero.org, ProjectK9hero.org, K and a 9.
Well, I tell you, best of good luck with the foundation and doing what you're doing on behalf of those dogs. To know that there might be some funds available for people who want to give back to the dogs that gave everything they had on behalf of whatever agency it was in service to this country. Just the best stuff, Jason. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, make it a great day, and I know that you guys will be able to sniff out a great day when you see one, so you feel free to grab it. And thanks again. It is 7:36. What a cool story.
Yeah.
A great personal story for Jason and his service.
Isn't that incredible?
Man, oh man. Excuse me, President Karzai, me and my dog need to sweep the room before you meet with the ambassador from the United States. I mean, that's
pretty cool stuff.
Pretty good stuff right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed that interview. Yeah.
Good job, Lance Tormey.
Get to ProjectK9hero.org.